Blackbeard's mother and Nico Robin, it turns out they might be siblings. How did Xebec meet his wife? In the latest chapter, the manga already revealed Blackbeard's mother. When people saw this, One Piece fans said, "There's only one. They look very similar. This is Robin's mother, Nico Olvia." That's why so many people ask, right? Is it possible that their mothers are sisters? Blackbeard and Robin. No matter the video, we'll answer that. That's the question. And to begin, that's our topic, of course. Let's first find out. Let's look at the connection between her and Olvia. And this is Blackbeard's mother. In chapter 1059, well, we discovered that this Xebec is from the Davy clan. In fact, that's the real name. It's not Rox D Xebec, it's Davy. It's called Xebec. They say that's their race. The Davy family originally came from God Valley. And this is the reason why Xebec brought his wife here. Because it was safe for her. This is that place. But unexpectedly it was discovered by accident, leading this Davy family to God Valley. And that's why a hunting tournament was held there. No problem. This is the first connection, Blackbeard's mother and Nico Olvia. As we all know, Olvia came from Ohara. And where is that? Ohara is located in the West Blue, similar to God Valley Island, which is also found in the West Blue. The next connection is related to Blackbeard. During an SBS volume, Oda mentioned as a hobby at age 83, he said that Blackbeard is a scoundrel who researches history. Yes guys, researching history, just like the scholars of Ohara. During the SBS in volume 88, Oda revealed that in the worst case scenario, if the worst generation were not pirates, what he gave Blackbeard was the role of an archaeologist, similar to the people of Ohara, who were also archaeologists. Don't worry, that's all. That's our clue, so we can say it makes sense that there's a connection. Blackbeard's mother, from Ohara, with Nico Olvia. Then in chapter 393, when it was time for Olvia to return to Ohara, okay, she was wearing a hat. Does this hat look familiar? Yes guys. It looks very similar to the one young Blackbeard is wearing. Extra information as quickly as possible. This connection between Blackbeard and Ohara. Well, it's said that the country of England was the inspiration Oda used to create the island of Ohara. And surprisingly, Blackbeard's favorite food is cherry pie. Well, that was first served around the 1500s, also in England. We can connect Blackbeard and Ohara here as well. In short, because of that, there's another obvious connection. Let's look at how similar Olvia and Blackbeard's mother are. So high is the possibility that Nico Olvia and Blackbeard's mother are both from Ohara. Anyway, now that we're connected, this is Blackbeard's mother in Ohara. Now, let's move to the connection with Rox. How could he have done this? He recognized his wife, if it's true that she was from Ohara. As I mentioned earlier, according to volume 88 of the SBS, Blackbeard would have been an archaeologist if he wasn't a pirate. It's possible then that literally his father, before becoming a pirate, was also an archaeologist. Because we all know sometimes these questions are asked over and over. What about Elbaf? And here comes Harley Tex. This wall is full of information about recent events in history. That in itself is being an archaeologist. Xebec brought it all to Imu-sama, because in chapter 1155, well, we discovered where we went. It turns out, Xebec himself was in Imu's flower chamber. Now here we are. Someone might ask, how did Xebec know the location of Imu-sama? Isn't it possible that his studies of history brought him to Imu? In fact, we already had a hint of this, because in chapter 1159, Xebec revealed he had an idea. He also spoke about his ancestors. This is the Davy clan. That's why I think Xebec, being an archaeologist, is the way he met her. He too was an archaeologist, and his wife resembles Nico Olvia. So the question of exactly how they met, the possible answer here is through Professor Clover. If you remember, before staying in Ohara, Clover was hired to teach the scholars. He had already traveled. He sailed to different places to study history. So it's possible that at some point, Clover and Xebec's paths crossed. And possibly, aboard Clover's ship, Xebec met his wife. No matter how, Xebec discovered the mysteries of the world, such as what the D truly means, what really happened in the Void Century, and other hidden truths with Professor Clover's help. And while they were sailing and meeting, Clover revealed that in fact, there was a king of the world, hiding inside Pangaea Castle. And to prove this was true, Clover revealed it to him. Xebec then attempted to climb and enter this Pangaea Castle. And when he discovered that everything Clover had told him was true, he had already decided to form the strongest pirate crew. For this he relied on a game, one inherited from his ancestors. That's it, the Davy backfight. Through this, he gathered the strongest, those born to dominate the world. And from this came the Rox Pirates. At that time, he already had the long-awaited chance to compete against Imu. The island of God Valley became the stage of this battle. Because of this, the great incident of God Valley occurred. And as we later discovered during the Elbaf arc, Imu was capable of merging with power itself. It's not unlikely that this also happened in God Valley. Imu joined the fight, and that's how Xebec lost. But just before Xebec died in that way, just as many other characters also perished, he gave a speech and shouted that whoever defeated Imu would come from the family of the road, that the victor would bear the name of D. This is possible because during Whitebeard's death, he also spoke of something very similar. And let's not forget, Whitebeard and Xebec were close, so it's possible that after Xebec lost to Imu, Dragon himself may have witnessed it. He may have heard Xebec's final words, and this became the fuel for Dragon to create his own group, the Revolutionary Army, a force created to directly fight back against the world government. Anyway, in the aftermath of God Valley, Imu already had information he should not have known, unless someone gave it to him, and that someone may very well have been Professor Clover. That's why, 16 years after the God Valley incident, Imu attempted to erase Professor Clover, and with him, the entire island of Ohara. And that, in short, is my timeline of how Xebec's wife came from Ohara, and how everything connected with the characters present during the God Valley incident. If you enjoyed this theory, don't worry, that's our topic for today. Don't be shy, hit that like button, because it really helps us a lot. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button too. That's all for now, peace.